There are a lot of things you can do in the great outdoors, but this has to be one of the silliest. This is what happens when recreational clubs have a day out. This is the 1066 medieval society fighting furiously amongst itself. And folks, they're serious.
Hey, guys! Hey! It's not a real war. Come on, fellas. It's not a real war.
So what are these guys all about?
Oh, we just enjoy reenacting history. We've got pretty well equal membership of ladies and men, and a lot of the males obviously prefer the fighting. The ladies also enjoy fighting, but more the costuming, the embroidery, research. A lot of the guys do the research. Everything we wear, everything we make's historically researched and accurate, and people get enjoyment out of that as well.
Yes, there is a gentler side to this. These clubs are just as much interested in the culture of medieval times as old-fashioned slaughter. There were babies back then too as well. And little cuties like this obviously didn't chop people up as soon as they were born. And there's authentic music and precise attention paid to the costume.
Where do you get your costumes from?
We make them, we look up in documents, in books, do a bit of study, and make them out of materials we can get. Drill, cotton, anything that's similar to what was back then.
Everything's handmade by the club members. The helmets, for example. And this armor, a combination of canvas and felt padding. And this, armor made from leather boiled in oil or candle wax, dried hard in the sun and laced together like scales of a fish.
What about this suit here? How heavy is that?
It's a bit hard to judge on each one. They're all slightly different depending on the links, but why don't you have a feel?
Right. Oh, stop. Oh, boy. That is... Here, feel how heavy this is. Oh, mate, how heavy is it?
It's about 30 kilos, Ernie, and each one of these links is made from spinning wire on a rod, taking that coil off, cutting it with a cold chisel, and then linking it together.
Now that's what I call dedication. So what makes normal everyday people want to dress up in thick, heavy gear like this on a hot Australian day and run around hitting each other with swords, axes and big sticks? Now if you happen to be a small boy, you'll know the answer already. In fact, this is small boy heaven. But these guys are grown-ups, I think.
Excuse me, can I ask you a few questions while you're resting?
Yeah.
Why do you do this?
Fun.
Fun? Yeah. What makes you do this every week? Do you do this every weekend?
I try to.
Oh, it's the fighting. You do it for the fighting, all right.
I do it for two reasons. One is to teach people about history. We get a lot of enthusiasm from the public. And the other one is just darn good fun. You go out there and vent some anger without hurting anybody, really. It looks good.
Fun, hey? Well, to each his own. But what about the women? Surely there were more to medieval life than this. Of course there was. Music and dance, medieval style, from the Renaissance players and the arabesque Middle East dancers. If you're wondering what belly dancers are doing here, well, they used to dance for the knights during the Crusades. Today they're dancing to the tune of the Renaissance players led by Winston Evans, a performance group who plays authentic and improvised medieval music on replicas of the original period instruments such as the guitarn, dulcimer and the shawm. They're probably easier to play than say, so I just had to give it a go.
Up here, stretch.
I'm trying. These are...
Stretch. That's it, that's it. How do you feel? You don't look too good.
I got it.
Got it.
Don't expect me to...
No, you have to lift your elbow up. And blow.
And of course, with traditional music, you must have a traditional banquet. Although some of the fare here doesn't look all that medieval. Now, I guess when you get right down to it, this is really what these clubs are mostly about. Boys will be boys. But if you're interested, they're always looking for new members. Contact us here at the show, and we'll tell you where to join. Ouch, that hurts.